Chase that Chattanooga freight, couple of kids in a Chevrolet. Catch a little air when we cross the tracks, sipping on something from a paper stack. You hang your shirt on that maple limb, slipping through the moon to the river bend. Wasn't very long, I was jumping in. I guess I'm still doing now what I was doing then. Chasing you like a shot of whiskey, burning, going down, burning, going down. Chasing you like those goodbye tail lights, headed west to anywhere out of this nowhere town. Chasing that freedom, chasing that feeling that got gone too soon. Chasing that you and me, I only see in my review. Till I'm laying here tonight, holding someone new. Still chasing you, still chasing you. You always used to talk about LA. I heard you got as far as Santa Fe. Well, you know I tried to track you down. I only got as far as Guitar Town, singing about a girl I used to know, you should know that I haven't given up. I'm just on your radio, chasing you like a shot of whiskey, burning, going down, burning, going down. Chasing you like those goodbye tail lights, headed west to anywhere out of this nowhere town. Chasing that freedom, chasing that feeling that got gone too soon. Chasing that you and me, I only see in my review. Till I'm laying here tonight, holding someone new. Still chasing you, still chasing you. Chasing you like a shot of whiskey, burning, going down, burning, going down. Chasing you like those goodbye tail lights, headed west to anywhere out of this nowhere town. Chasing that freedom, chasing that feeling that got gone too soon. Chasing that you and me, I only see in my review. Till I'm laying here tonight, holding someone new. Still chasing you, still chasing you, still chasing you, still chasing you.
It's the guts and it's the glory, 100 stripes, 100 stories. It's the Pledge of Allegiance on the 4th of July. It's them handwritten letters from home. It's them sleepless nights alone. It's his newborn baby he left with his wife. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, lay down his life. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes. Hey. From the fields of Indiana to the swamps of Louisiana, to the golden coast of California, Uncle Sam's the only family he's got. His purple heartbeat won't stop, and his 18th birthday was the day he was born. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, lay down his life. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, stand on the front line. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, pay the ultimate price. touching light. Hey. Hey.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Ultimate Dirt TV, and welcome to the Coast to Coast Racing Network. It is Thursday Night Thunder and the Gambler Motorsports. Tonight we come to you from Weedsport Speedway, located in New York, as we get ready for 358 modifieds on the program. As we get ready, heat race number 1 taken to the racetrack. Let's take a look at your starting grid on the pole position. It's going to be the 28 car of Jeff Sharp to the outside of the front row, driving the King Race Designs Full Throttle Motorsports Super Dirt Car Series 79 entry of Dean Reynolds from position number 2. Rolling off out of position number 3 and driving the Super Dirt Car Series Venom Racing car number 5 will be Isaac Salister. He's outside, driving car number 13, that is Cullen Johnston. From position number 5 will be car number 200 of Jeff Flaro, and to his outside, Michael Vecchio in the 007. We'll start from position number 6 and rolling off out of position number 7. At the back by his lonesome, driving the Venom Racing Super Dirt Car Series car number 9 entry, that is Brian Lawson. Make that 6 cars, as Jeff Flaro did not make the call for heat race number 1. So we are ready for a start here. Gambler Motorsports Thursday Night Thunder Series, the 358 Modifieds, as we get ready to tackle New York's Weedsport Speedway. Heat 1 of 3 on the board. 8 laps is the distance. We're underway in the 358 modifieds. It'll be Reynolds to lead down through turn number 1 and 2. Here comes Salas to the outside right now as he looks upstairs into turn number 3 and 4. Trying to get around the outside of the 28 car of Jeff Sharp. Lap 1 belongs to Reynolds. Second was Sharp at the start-finish line. Salas now again working the top of the racetrack through turn number 1 and 2. But Sharp good on the inside of the raceway. Sharp going to stay glued to the bottom side of the racetrack. Track slick from the bottom right through the middle of the raceway. Not a whole lot of left to lean down there, but a whole lot to work upstairs as Salas continues to try and keep the momentum up in the 5 machine. Side by side, Sharp and Salas watching Brian Lawson in that 9 machine as well. Reynolds starting to move away from the rest of the field. 3 down, 5 to run. Salas catches the cushion right in the center of turn number 1 and 2, but it's still Jeff Sharp good on the bottom side of the racetrack. Salas now tucks in behind him. Now going to have to wait for a mistake from the 28 car of Jeff Sharp. He drifts up just a little bit. An opportunity for the door to open up on the inside. Salas is trying to sneak a front nose up on the inside. And there he goes. To the inside goes Salas on Sharp. Salas will take over the runner-up position. So he's had to make the transition from the top to the bottom with just 3 laps left to run. There is the driver in the runner-up position at the moment, still trying to catch a race leader. Driving that King Race Designs Full Throttle Motorsports Super Dirt Car Series 79 car of Dean Reynolds. 2 laps left to run here in the opening heat race of the night. Reynolds, Salas, Sharp, your top 3, Lawson, Vecchio and Johnston, your 6 cars on the racetrack. White flag is out. One final time for these drivers in heat race number 1. It's still Reynolds leading down the back straight away. Down through turn number 3 into turn number 4. Checkered flag waving. Heat number 1 is done. Dean Reynolds will get the win. Second will go to Isaac Salas. Jeff Sharp home in 3rd. Brian Lawson 5th. Brian Lawson 4th. Michael Vecchio 5th. And Cullen Johnston home in position number 6. There is your results coming up on screen. Reynolds, Salas, Sharp, Lawson, Vecchio and Johnson, the 6 cars, with Flaro not making the call for heat number 1. Heat number 2 will line up like this, and on the pole position with the 513 car of Jeffrey Barker to the outside of the front row, Joseph Mosso in car 63 from position number 2. From position number 3 with the 677 car of Field Miller to his outside, the 11 of Kelly Wheeler from position number 4. And the third and final row, inside and outside, the 17 of Mark Gilbert lines up at a position of 5, and Patrick Spangler in car 39 rolls off out of the 6th starting position. We are ready for a start. As the Steve King Foundation safety car will make its way off the racing surface in turn number 3 and 4. 3 day, make that little under, or 4 days. 3 days, 23 hours, 53 minutes, 44 seconds to the Mark Westbrook Memorial Knoxville Nationals. A big 4 nights of racing on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. But heat number 2, and we are underway. Barker and Mosso lead side by side. Leader is Jeffrey Barker. He'll drift it up to the top of the racetrack, but no. Here comes Mosso in the 63 to the outside. 2 by 1, by 2, by 1 they go. A pack of 3 and a pack of 3 to break away and separate this 6-car field. Barker drifting up the racetrack, leaves the lane to the outside for Mosso to go on by. Field Miller still trying to work to the inside of the racetrack as they nearly go 3 wide through turn number 1 and 2. It's still side by side. Give it to Barker down into turn number 3. Mosso still trying to make it happen on the top of the racetrack. We've seen that the speed wasn't quite up to scratch in heat race number 1, where Isaac Salas was trying to do the same thing and he had to make the eventual change down to the bottom of the racetrack. Will Mosso, if he can get down there, I'm sure he'd love to go down and try and catch up to your race leader, but you've got a side-by-side battle between 2nd and 3rd. Field Miller, Joseph Mosso, the 677 and the 63 car. Give it to Field Miller down in the back straight away. Gilbert, Spangler, Wheeler all tucked in a 3-car battle for positions 4, 5 and 6. Gilbert shuts the door on Spangler. But now it's Gilbert Mosso. Poor old Mosso's been left up to hang and dry himself up on the top side of the racetrack. So tough goings right now for some of these drivers. In heat race number 2, we're coming to the white flag. 1 lap to go. Heat race number 2. Can Jeffrey Barker in the 5:13? Can he find himself starting on the outside of your front row for tonight's main event? 30-lap main event. Backstretch for the final time in heat race number 2. Down into 3 and 4, and it will be off turn 4. Checkered flag is out. Jeffrey Barker with the win. Second will go to field, Miller. Mark Gilbert home in third. So Barker, Miller, Gilbert, your top 3. Spangler. Then you go back to Mosso and Wheel. 1.941 seconds separate the 6 drivers in heat race number 2. Heat race number 3, they will line up like this. On the pole with a 20 car of Blake Chapman to the outside of the front row. Then Upper Auto Parts, caliber 7 car of Bob DeGood, position number 2. Position number 3 with the 31 of Brandon Templeton to the outside, the 88 of Dan McLaren from 4. And the 5th and 6th starters will be Kurt Schatz in the 218 out of position 5, and Anthony Morano lines up out of position number 6. Final heat for your 358 modifieds. Here at the Weedsport Speedway. The Mike Westbrook Memorial Knoxville Nationals. Monday, July 31st, Tuesday, August 1st, Wednesday, August the 2nd, and Thursday, August the 3rd. 4 nights of racing live on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. All proceeds going to the Steve King Foundation. Troubles on the front straightaway. McLaren to good and Morano involved in that debacle. And that'll leave Chapman to battle it out with Brandon Templeton and Kurt Schatzer as well. Troubles for the 7 car. Bob the Good finally gets it going. There is no yellows in the heat races. So we, unfortunately for those drivers, for McLaren, Morano and the Good. Oh no, Chapman loops it around by himself. And Kurt Schatzer goes to the race lead. He had to come from the 5th starting position, I'm sure it was. And he's down to the race lead, Brandon Templeton. Up to the 2nd spot, and this field is really spread out. Poor old Blake Chapman just lost the handle on that race car. Morano, McLaren, 3rd and 4th position. Oh, McLaren smacks the wall in turn number 1. He goes around. That will allow Morano to go on by. So the entertaining heat race of the night so far. But it is Schatzer out in front. 1.3 seconds over Brandon Templeton. And how they will start your main event will be 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 and 18 for the 6 cars in heat race number 3. And with just 2 laps left to run for Kurt Schatzer. I think it's safe to say that he's pretty much got this one locked up in the bag, provided that he doesn't hit the concrete walls. Very easy to do around the Weedsport Speedway. Coming to the white flag, Kurt Schatzer. One more time around Weedsport in heat race number 3. Backstretch for the final time through turn number 3 and through turn number 4. Checkered flag is out. Kurt Schatzer gets the win. Brandon Templeton home in 2nd. Big gap back to Anthony Morano home in 3rd. And another big gap back to Dan McLaren home in 4th. Bob DeGood will come home 5th, a lap down. And Blake Chapman, unfortunately, will come home in position number 6. As there is your results. Schatzer, Templeton, Morano, McLaren, DeGood and Chapman. We get ready to take a break here on Ultimate Dirt TV and on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. The warm-up session is upon us, which means our main event is up on the other side of this quick commercial break.
How about the reverse for Lucy Olsen? She has her first point.
Yeah, Lucy Olsen, talented sophomore.
And we are back here on Ultimate Dirt TV and on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Gambler Motorsports Thursday Night Thunder live from the Weedsport Speedway. We get ready for your main event. Let's take a look at your starting lineup. Dean Reynolds and Jeffrey Parker on the front row. Row number 2 going to be Kurt Schatzer and Isaac Salas. Row 3 will be Field Miller and Brandon Templeton. Row 4, Jeff Sharp alongside Mark Gilbert. Row 5, Anthony Morano and Brian Lawson. Row 6, Patrick Spangler and Dan McLaren. Row 7, Michael Vecchio and Joseph Basso. Row number 8, Bob DeGood, Cullen Johnston. Row number 9, Kelly Wheeler and Blake Chapman. And row number 10, by his lonesome at the back, is the 200 car of Jeff Flaro. The Mark Westbrook Memorial Knoxville Nationals live on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. All proceeds going to the Steve King Foundation. Monday, July 31, Tuesday, August 1st, Wednesday, August the 2nd, Thursday, August the 3rd. 4 nights of racing to crown the Knoxville National Champion for the 360 winged sprint cars. We hope that you can come out on those 4 nights live on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. But for now, it is time to go racing what is week number 7, live from the Weedsport Speedway Park. 358 Modifieds. Let's get dirty for 30 here in the main event. Dean Reynolds and Jeffrey Barker gonna lead the field. Salas trying to make it 3 wide already through turn number 1 and 2. They'll go 3 wide for second, third, fourth down the back straight away. Barker lurking up on the outside, 2 by 2 by 2. Everybody being a little impatient but patient at the same time. Schatzer trying to slide up in front of Salas. Field Miller in the 677 also working down low. Miller works it side by side up on the inside of Isaac Salas. Brandon Templeton as well. Lap number 2 going to belong to Dean Reynolds. Jeffrey Barker, Kurt Schatzer running the final spots on the podium at the moment. Gilbert working in position number 6 down to the low side of the racetrack. See how far Blake Chapman can come through this field. Went down to investigate what happened on the 20 machine after heat race number 3. Apparently there was some wheel issues as to why that the car just spun by himself in turns 3 and 4. 3 wide for third, fourth and fifth. Miller, Schatzer drifted it upstairs. Miller through the middle. Here comes Salas trying to get 2 for the price of 1 on the inside. Had the door shut there by the 677 of Field Miller. And now Field Miller moves into the final spot on the podium as Jeffrey Barker in hot pursuit of the 790 car of Dean Reynolds. At King Race Designs Full Throttle Motorsports Super Dirt Car Series 79 looking to get a win here at Weedsport. 2 3/10 of a second is all that separates first and second. A lot of the drivers still working through the low side of the racetrack here at Weedsport. Barker now closing in on Reynolds as Field Miller closes in on Barker. 7 down, make it 8 down, 22 to go. Your main event of the 358 Modifieds. Huge thanks to, of course, Catalytic Recovery, Top Notch Trucking, Flatline Racing Bodies as well for their support with Gambler Motorsports and Thursday Night Thunder. Schatzer now moves Schatzer back to position number 3. Salas has to be a little bit patient again, trying to stick the nose up on the inside of third place driver of Schatzer. Miller holds on to position number 4. He's not going to give up on the middle side through turn number 3 and 4. He gets the run. Miller and Salas, they go side by side down the front straight away. Salas looks to have it through turn number 1 and 2. Bit of contact there. And now here comes Mark Gilbert trying to throw his hat into the mix. 11 down, 19 to go for Dean Reynolds. Everybody just hugging that inside wall here at Weedsport. Another lap into the books as Cullen Johnston is going to be the first car to potentially go a lap down. So it'll be interesting to see how Reynolds can navigate the lap car. and how deep we can get into this main event before we see more lap traffic. Lap car goes to the top side of the racetrack. Cullen Johnson just moves out of the way. Smart move by Cullen Johnson again, just letting all the cars on the lead lap go on by as he still keeping going in a forward direction. Now they have to work around the lap car. Here comes Schatzer trying something different down into turn number 1 and 2. Trying to run the slider line on Jeffrey Barker, but Barker still that 2/3 of a second gap. And it's official right now. Cross flag sticks around. Halfway home in tonight's main event. 15 down, 15 to go. And Schatzer, look out. You leave the inside line open. Isaac Salas is going to take it hands down every day of the week. Barker clips the inside wall. Barker's going to go around. Oh no, Jeffrey Barker was in the runner-up position. Let's take a look at the replay. And a huge blunder for the 513 car of Jeffrey Barker. Just caught the inside wall and Salas had nowhere to go, along with Field Miller. And troubles. Troubles for the 513. I think he was going around regardless of the contact from Salas. And boy, that could change everything. Yeah, he was certainly going around. There was going to be no denying that one. So Barker being sent to the tail end of the field. And this will change it all. This will change it all, because with the double file restarts, we know how good Isaac Salas has been on the bottom of the racetrack. Reynolds is going to have his hands full. You bet your bottom dollar that Kurt Schatzer is not going to die wondering on the top of the racetrack. He will give it everything that he's got. Who will take out the first of what will be 3 races here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network tonight? 358 modifieds, followed by the big block modifieds, and then your NASCAR Cup Series. Safety car, the Steve King Foundation safety car is off. Dean Reynolds gets on the throttle. We're back underway. Down to the low side he'll go. Field Miller trying the inside. Miller and Gilbert come together. Look out, there's some contact. And now Salas is going to move to position number 2. Schatzer back to the outside, but just like that, we go yellow. Let's look at the 17 car of Mark Gilbert. Just nowhere to go. He was on the inside in the 677 car of Field Miller. Just got a little crossed up. Caught the back. Oh, I don't think he did catch the back of him, actually. He did. Just caught the back of him. Just caught the back of the Salas machine. And unfortunately, Gilbert, again, with nowhere to go in that exchange, will bring the field to a stop. So a quick couple of back-to-back cautions. Again, so line up behind the Steve King Foundation safety car. Don't forget, Monday, July 31st through to Thursday, August the 3rd, 4 nights of the Mike Westbrook Memorial Knoxville Nationals presented by the Steve King Foundation. Over $750 in prizes. It's a 4-day event using the Knoxville scoring system. If you want to apply or for more information, head over to www.c2crl.com. Who will be crowned the 4th annual Mike Westbrook Memorial Knoxville Nationals champion. We get ready to go back racing here at the Knoxville Raceway. Reynolds, Schatzer, again, double file restart is upon us. Reynolds once again. Oh, boy! And boy, didn't that look a little ugly from the 79 car. Poor Kurt Schatzer. That was absolutely horrendous. Oh, boy, the only thing that's going to save him is maybe a caution. And I don't think that's what Reynolds intended to do. Brandon Templeton going to go around. And just before we get to the start-finish line, keep an eye on that 218 machine. He should be able to get his spot back in second position. In fact, he may not because of the way they come across the start-finish line. The way they come across the start-finish line, Brandon Templeton. Let's have a look at the 31 machine. Goes to the inside, just catching, just jammed the brakes on. Jeff Sharp nowhere to go. Kelly Wheeler involved. Dan McLaren involved. Jeffrey Barker involved. And just like that, 3 yellows back to back to back. And well, Dean Reynolds, he's got to do it all over again. He will have to do it all over again. So who can take out tonight's main event? Will it be Reynolds? Will it be Salas? Will Phil Miller? Will he get lucky late in this one? Well, you just have to wait and find out with what will be 12 laps left to run. So the double file restart once again is upon us. Safety car, the Steve King Foundation safety car is up, and Dean Reynolds a much better start this time. Up turn 4. And with what is now 12 laps left to run. Reynolds from Salas and Miller. That's your top 3. Lawson to the inside on Schatzer. We're going to stay focused up for first and second right now because we know Isaac Salas is going to pressure Dean Reynolds. And once again, safety car comes back out onto the racetrack. So the safety car once again. Don't forget a huge night of racing here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. 358 modifiers to start us off, followed by the big block modifiers will be up next. And then, of course, to wrap up the Gambler Motorsports and Thursday Night Thunder live here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network will be the NASCAR Cup Series. Not sure whether Marty or Patrick will be on the call for that one. But either way, make sure you stick around tonight. Triple header as Coast to Coast brings you what is one of 11 broadcasted races with the Coast to Coast Racing Network and the Coast to Coast Racing League. Broadcasting 11 divisions. So we'll go through how you can get involved here on the Coast to Coast Racing League and how you can be showcased live here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. But for now, we get ready to go back racing. 10 laps to go. Reynolds, Salas, Miller, Schatzer, Lawson, Morano, Chapman, Spangler. That's your top 8. Back to green we go with 10 to go. Miller tried the inside. Schatzer got a piece of the back of Miller down into turn number 1. Kept it going. Lawson now looking to the inside, looking for 4th. Now look at Anthony Morano trying to go high, wide, and handsome up on the top side of the racetrack. 9 to go, so anytime the caution flag comes on from here on out, should be single file restart. Miller looks to close in on the back of Salas down the back straight away. Look at Schatzer. Morano drifting it way upstairs, trying to keep the right side tyres in the moisture. Hoping that the bottom side is going to fade away. Schatzer smacks the concrete wall once again. How about Blake Chapman? From position number 18, he's got himself a top 5. He's got himself certainly a top 5 now. Miller, I think that was. Miller was the one that got turned around. 360 kept it going. Spangler's going to move up to position number 5. Chapman will go to 4th. We go yellow just as Salas moved to the top side in turn number 1 and 2. Oh boy. Upside down, Michael Vecchio, Kurt Schatzer. Both drivers going back to the pits. So for more information on the Coast to Coast Racing League, if you're looking for other races that enjoy racing without all the drama of name calling, of normal iRacing, come out and join the Coast to Coast Racing League. We have 22 divisions that race 6 days a week, currently broadcast 11 divisions, and members know that they are a part of something bigger than just the on-track experience. Check them out on the World Wide Web at www.c2crl.com. Click apply and to join in the action. And of course, those 11 broadcaster divisions live on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Sunday night showdown, 9 p.m. Eastern. Travis Piercefield and Extreme Esports TV cover the Dirt Pro late models. Monday Night Madness from 8 to 10 Eastern. Marty and the Slide Job Racing Network bring you all the Rebels and Renegades action. Joe White brings you the Asphalt Tuesday action featuring the NASCAR Truck Series and the Hometown Heroes live on OSRN. Joe White and the Ohio Challenge from Eldora and Limaland Speedways, followed by the NASCAR Xfinity Division. And of course, Thursday Night Thunder, myself, Brett Wheeler, and Ultimate Dirt TV bring you the 358 and Big Block Modifieds, followed by Extreme eSpeed TV covering the NASCAR Next Gen Cup Series. Don't forget you can catch all the action by subscribing to the Coast to Coast Racing Network today. If you haven't done so, hit that thumbs up on the video as well. Just shows support to the Coast to Coast Racing Network and the Coast to Coast Racing League. 6 laps left to run. Ready to go back racing. Your main event is underway once again. So a few late race restarts. Is that going to be the difference maker between Dean Reynolds and Isaac Salas? Who is going to get the better of this 358 modified main event? Can Dean Reynolds hold on? Because here comes a fast finishing Isaac Salas with 5 laps left to run. Lawson as well. Lawson, Chapman, Spangler. Boy, yes, meanwhile, they are nose to tail. You know they're going to give it everything they got. They're going to push it, and push it. Oh, Salas catches the wall. That could be the moment in the break that Dean Reynolds needs. Lawson now to the inside on Salas through turn number 1 and 2. Lawson, Salas look a little bit quicker than Dean Reynolds right now. Reynolds starting to lose a handle on things and not ideal. Coming to 3 to go. Salas trying the outside down into turn number 1 and 2. Reynolds and Salas along with Lawson. 3-way dance for the race lead. Lawson to the inside on Salas down into turns 3 and 4. 2 laps left to run. Can Reynolds hold on? He slides up the racetrack. Now covers the bottom down into turn number 1 and 2. Oh, protecting at all costs. And now look at that, your top 5 on screen. Will Salas, will Lawson, will they have something for Dean Reynolds? White flag is out, 1 to go. The main event, the 358 modifieds. Who will get it done? Here at Weedsport, Reynolds leads for the final time down the back straightaway. He should have enough. Salas is not going to die wandering on the top of the racetrack. Off turn 4, Reynolds is going to win. Dean Reynolds will win. Oh my, what a way to finish. Dean Reynolds will be victorious in the 358 modifieds. We take a look at the official results. Dean Reynolds with the win. Brian Lawson home in second. Isaac Salas third. Blake Chapman from 18th to position number 5. 18th to 4th, I should say. Spangle will come home 5th. Anthony Morano 6th. Jeffrey Barker, Brandon Templeton, Joseph Mosser, and Field Miller rounds out the top 10. We go over the page. 11 through to 20th, 11 through to 19th, I should say. Mark Gilbert in 11th, Colin Johnston, Dan McLaren, Kelly Wheeler, Bob DeGood make up the top 15. Kurt Schatzer, Michael Vecchio, Jeff Sharp, and Jeff Flaro will be the 19 cars in your main event. Oh my. Just the appetizer we have been waiting for. Let's go down to third place driver at the moment. Ready and out of the cockpit of the number 5 machine. Isaac Salas comes home in third. Isaac, third place finish. You almost had second, but man, you were not going to die wondering up on the top side of the racetrack.
No, I was in it to win it, buddy. And man, that top didn't have nothing. And I respect the hell out of Dean and Brian. So you know what? I was like, well, I committed myself, and let's try to make this baby work. And didn't get it done. Track wasn't on my side. So awesome run though from us three.
Man, those last 5 laps, you had to try something different because there was no way that you were going to get underneath Dean there for the race win. You opted to go to the top in 3 and 4. There was a couple of times where you had the run, but you just caught the front stretch wall. What's it like trying to navigate, not only that top side of the racetrack, but to try and keep the speed up, but also not wreck the guys in front?
Oh man, it's a challenge. I can tell you that much. It's really fun. At the same time though, like it really makes you need to be perfect, and when you're not perfect, you get burned. And I think you kind of saw that. I was truly trying to go for it on the high side there. And honestly, I tried to save tires so I could use the top. And I think I might have burned them up a little bit too much to make it worthwhile.
Well, buddy, congratulations on the third place finish here so far. The 358 Modifieds. Zach, before we let you go, I'm sure there's a lot of sponsors, a lot of great people behind the scenes that made this possible for you.
Yeah. Big congrats to Brian and Dean and Megan. It's always fun to see the support that those guys give me, and I try to reciprocate that back to them. And but yeah, so thank you to Dean, the Super Dirt Car Series. That's pretty awesome podium here. Venom Racing, man. It feels like we locked it out. It's not like our sponsors here. Magnum Race Designs for just those beautiful paints between Brian and I. Got Your Six Racing Network, RSN Trackside with Marty, Mission 22, everything that they do for our veterans, man. My Gramps and Top Notch Trucking, everybody here in Coast to Coast. Thank you, Brett, for broadcasting. I love your broadcast, dude. It's always a pleasure to see you, get to talk to you. Yeah, and then other than that, man, just thanks to all the guys that came out and raced tonight. Thanks to our veterans, and then thanks to all my friends and family that support the hell out of me.
Yeah, buddy, well done on third place. Go get him in the big blocks.
Awesome. Thank you, buddy.
There we go, guys. Isaac Salas home in third place. Home in second place tonight, the Venom Racing Cat 9 machine of Brian Lawson. Brian, congratulations on the second place finish here tonight. Boy, you snuck home late in that one, but boy, I tell you what, those last 5, 6, 7 laps between yourself, Isaac, and Dean, that must have been something to remember.
Man, I hope they looked as fun as they were, because that was the most fun I've had on this sim in a long time. I mean, Dean kind of checked up there once with, 2 or 3 to go, and it kind of bunched us all up. I said, oh, it's on, here we go. But, we never touched. Everybody raced each other clean. It's always a pleasure racing with them guys. And, congrats to Dean on the win.
Man, what was it like trying to navigate this type of a racetrack? I did notice that it was a pre-gen racetrack, but man, I mean, again, you guys left everything on the racetrack, and you guys put on one hell of a show there late in the end of that race.
Yeah, we knew right from the get-go that the bottom line was definitely going to be dominant. There was, when you started out this slicked off, you can't build up a cushion up top, and so it makes the top line kind of, you send it in there and there's nothing to hit, other than the wall. And so it was pretty much bottom dominant, and that's what I did. I just focused on staying on the bottom, and luckily those last few restarts I restarted in 5th, which put me on the inside the last few double file. and was just able to make some moves and dodge some wrecks. There was a little contact here and there, but it's Weedsport.
Yeah, certainly going to happen. Well, Brian, congratulations on this podium finish, the runner-up finish here tonight in the 358 modified portion of this Coast to Coast Racing Network Gambler Motorsports Thursday Night Thunder. Brian, before we let you go, of course, a lot of sponsors, a lot of great people behind the scenes that make this possible for you in the 9 car.
Absolutely. You guys for putting this on Coast to Coast. They do a great job with this league. Dean, got to give him a shout out with Super Dirt Car Series. Go check them out. If you can't check them out live, check them out on Dirt Vision. They always put on a great show. Magnum Race Design for this nice wrap I got on my car. And my guys at Venom Racing, couldn't do it without them.
All right, well done on second place. Go get him in the big box, Brian.
All right, thanks, Brett. Have a good night.
Thanks, sir. Brian Lawson home in second spot. And well, he leads all 30 laps of tonight's main event. And the second time we've gotten to speak to him in 2 weeks, driving the King Race Designs Super Dirt Car Series Full Throttle Motorsports Caliber 79. New paint scheme, new win. That's 1 from 1. Dean, how are you feeling after that one?
Oh, that was awesome, Brett. It was so cool to have your teammates with you. We were all in the same Discord, and we were all trying to beat each other. But we also wanted to do it clean. But that was the first race for the King Race Designs, and thank you for hooking me up with Chris. And that was cool. That was a lot of fun. It was more nerve-wracking than driving hard because you were half throttle and you just couldn't make a mistake. And I thought with about 4 to go, I thought I made a mistake and Brian was going to get underneath me. But you know what? All the guys from Team Venom, they let me in their Discord. We had 1, 2, 3 on the hill here. Super Dirt Car Series cars. That was cool, Brett. That was a fun race.
Let's go back to that final restart with I think it was 7 or 8 laps left to run. You got Isaac Salas, you got Brian Lawson behind you. You've got Blake Chapman, Patrick Spangler, guys that have driven through the field to get up to the top 5. You try at that stage, late in the race, you're trying to protect all lines. I mean, you go to the bottom, you sort of drift it up high. You really make that car wide as possible. What was it like from you in the cockpit of the 79 car?
Well, making the car wide as possible wasn't the plan. That was me messing up. But, when you got Isaac and you got Brian behind you, they're good. And then you throw in Blake and Patrick, and they're some of the best sprint car guys. But sprint car guys make good modified guys. They both won in Coast to Coast and modifieds. And, that was 4 of the best behind you. And I just wanted to try not to make a mistake. I had a good draw. I was outside pole in the first heat. I said, if I can beat Jeff Sharp into turn 1 and win that first heat, I thought I had a shot because the track just had too much of a pre-gen state, and there's no outside. We tried to run the outside, and it was just nothing there. And I was just going to go low, stay slow, and hope for the best.
Well, mate, it certainly worked out for you. In the end, you lead all 30 laps of tonight's main event. You essentially, you clean sweep the 358 modifiers, but it's still not done just yet. You've got some big blocks to go. How are you feeling going into the big blocks after taking out the 358 modified win?
Well, there's a little less pre-gen in the big block track, so I think it's going to be a little bit better. I did some good laps out there. It felt good. I'm going to bring out the next car. It's going to be the bad black one for the big blocks, and we can see what we can do there, and maybe we can talk to you again.
Well, Dean, congratulations on this 358 modified win. Again, before we let you go, we know there's a couple of good sponsors on this car. We know there's a bunch of great people behind the scenes that need to be thanked. Now's an opportunity to thank those people.
Well, first, I do have to thank my team, Full Throttle Motorsports. I got to thank those guys for helping me out over the last year or so and getting me some more speed. Got to thank Team Venom and Venom Racing. All those guys were in the Discord together, and great bunch of guys, and just honored to be in there with them. And proud to sponsor a lot of the guys in Team Venom. Super Dirt Car Series is on a lot of cars. Proud to do that. King Race Designs for the awesome wrap. I think they'll like the next one now, the bad black one. Got to thank them. Brett, got to thank you for doing the telecast. Ultimate Dirt TV is one of the best in this game, and we're glad you're here. Got to thank Coast to Coast as well for doing the league and just having a lot of fun on Thursday. And I got to thank Gramps. I was told to thank Gramps and Top Notch Trucking because if it wasn't for them, Brett, you wouldn't be here doing the telecast. So Gramps is watching, and that's Isaac's grandfather, and I want to say hi to him, and I got to say hi to Megan and my father as well watching. So let's go big block racing, Brett. What do you think?
I'm ready to go, mate. I've been sick for the last 9 to 10 days, but I tell you what, that is not going to stop me from calling the big blocks. Dean, congratulations on the win. Good luck in the big blocks, buddy.
Thank you, man.
There we go, Dean Reynolds, your winner from the 358 Modifieds here at the Weedsport Speedway Park. And with that, we take a quick commercial break here on Ultimate Dirt TV. We come back with your big block modifieds up next. I know there is a field of 21 or 22 drivers already signed into the pit area. They are already unloaded the race cars and they are ready to go racing here at Weedsport. So with that being said, without further ado, we'll take a quick commercial break here on Ultimate Dirt TV. We'll come back in just a few moments' time with the big block modifieds and the Gambler Motorsports Thursday Night Thunder live from the Weedsport, live on Ultimate Dirt TV, live on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Be back in just a few short moments.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on GeForce TV.
For Lucy Olsen, she has her first point.
Yeah, Lucy Olsen, talented sophomore.
And we are back here on Ultimate Dirt TV and on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. It is Gambler Motorsports Thursday Night Thunder. It is from Weedsport Speedway, and we are done for the 358 modifieds. We are now getting ready to tackle the big block modifieds. Again, well, good evening, race fans. Brett Wheeler with you for the call as we get set for race number 2 of 3. Don't forget, after the big block modifieds, live here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network will be the NASCAR Next Gen Cup Series. I'm not sure whether it's going to be Marty or Patrick on that one. Either way, or was it Travis? I can't remember. I speak to that many people week in and week out. Either way, Next Gen Cup Series after the big block modifieds, we are already done with the 358 modified. So 1 of 3 is complete. 21 drivers have signed into the virtual pit area for tonight's big block modifieds. And again, we hope that you get ready to enjoy this awesome night of racing from this wonderful facility located in New York, Weedsport Speedway, for what is week number 7. Don't forget, on Monday, July 31st, qualifying in night number 1 of the Mike Westbrook Memorial Knoxville Nationals presented by the Steve King Foundation. Tuesday, August 1st, qualifying night number 2. Wednesday, August 2nd, the Veterans and Volunteers qualifiers, Pole Shuffle and Hard Knocks. And then Thursday, August the 3rd, the Last Chance qualifiers and the final. Over $750 in prizes. Live all on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Checkered flag has been thrown on the practice session, which means we are about to go racing. Heat race number 1 of the Gambler Motorsports and Thursday Night Thunder big block modifieds. We get ready to tackle heat number 1 as we get ready to take a look at your starting grid. And from the pole position with the 107 car of Jason Coffey to the outside of the front row, the 161 Terry Landis from position number 2. From position number 3 with the 31 of Brandon Templeton, Mark Gilbert, the 17 starts position number 4. Jason Butterfield, the 93 from 5, position number 6 with the 32 with Anthony Morano. And the 200 of Jeff Flaro lines up out of position number 7. We are ready for a start in heat race number 1. Jason Coffey opting to get sent to the tail end of the field. Oh, I showed you the starting grid without showing you the actual starting grid. Alright, apologies on that one, but it's the hashtag rookie mistake. Big block modified. The Steve King Foundation safety car is off. Big block modifieds getting set to roll. We are green. Down into turn of 1 and 2. Gilbert going to go through the middle of the raceway. Poor old Butterfield. Butterfield going to go around. And boy, Jason Butterfield not having the time of his night so far. Lap number 1 will belong to Brandon Templeton. Gilbert nearly got tagged there by the back of the 161 machine of Terry Landis. Landis now lets Morano slip on by to the inside down the back straightaway. Morano up to position number 3 as he sets his sights on the back of the 17 car of Mark Gilbert down into turn number 1. 3 heat races on the docket for tonight's big block modifieds. 5 laps left to run for Brandon Templeton. We've seen whoever won heat race number 1 in the 358s, which happened to be Dean Reynolds, lead all 30 laps in the main event. Is that a sign of things to come here at the Weedsport Speedway? This time, Brandon Templeton, well, he is the race leader. 4 down, 4 to run. Patient through 1 and 2 he goes. Gilbert in 2nd, Morano 3rd, Landis 4th, Jason Coffey rounds out the top 5. Jeff Flaro in 6th. And Jason Butterfield already sitting back in the virtual pit area. Morano trying the top of the racetrack. It's something that we didn't really get to see much of in the 358 modifieds with the pre-gen track. It was just a little too slick for the guys on the top to make those smaller horse-powered machines motor up on the top side. Morano went back to the bottom down into turn number 1 and 2. Closed in on the back of the 17 car of Gilbert down the back straightaway. 3/10 of a second is what separates Mark Gilbert in second and Anthony Morano in third as the white flag is out. 1 lap left to go. Gilbert looks to hold on to position number 2, but into turn number 3. Off for turn number 4 at the line. Brandon Templeton will win heat race number 1. Second will go to Mark Gilbert. Anthony Morano home in third. Terry Landis fourth. Fifth is going to be Jeff Flaro. Jason Coffey home in sixth, and Jason Butterfield will find himself in position number 7, as that is heat race number 1. Heat number 2 up next, and let's take a look at your starting grid. Starting on the pole, it'll be the 79 car of Andrew Smith, and Joseph Mosso in the 63 lines up at a position number 2. From position number 3 with the 677 of Field Miller. From position number 4, the 39 of Patrick Spangler. At a position number 5 with a 7 car of Bob DeGood. At a position number 6, a runner-up in the 358 modifieds. It's tonight of Brian Lawson. And starting at the back of the field, shotgun from position number 7, driving the King Race Designs, Full Throttle Motorsports, Super Dare Car Series. Your winner from the 358 modifieds, that is Dean Reynolds. 7 starters in heat race number 2. 8 laps is the distance. Who will get the job done in heat number 2? This will line up the outside. Well, the winner will line up on the outside of the front row. Here we go. Big Block Modifieds getting set to tackle the Weedsport Speedway. Keep an eye on Spangler. Finished 5th in the main event, so you got 3 drivers that finished in the top 5 in heat race number 2. Spangler looking down to the low side. Meanwhile, Joseph Mosso will lead lap number 1, but Spangler down to the inside. Patrick Spangler, you've got a new race leader down into turn number 1 and 2. Meanwhile, Field Miller side by side with Andrew Smith. Brian Lawson back there in position number 5. Still battle on for the race lead. It's still going to be Patrick Spangler just by a car length, watching 3rd and 4th. Andrew Smith has got 3rd at the line. Miller down to the inside, and Miller now takes over the 3rd spot. Here comes the black and white 79, the King Race Designs. Your feature winner from the 358 modifieds. And the man that finished runner-up behind him now has to tuck him behind that 79. That's the 9 car of Brian Lawson. Reynolds has moved his way to position number 4. And will start position, and should start position number 11 in tonight's main event, even at a 4th place finish. Lawson gets by Andrew Smith. Smith started on the front row. Now back to position number 6. 3 laps left to run. Field Miller, the 677. He was good in the first 2/3 of the 358 modifieds before getting a little bit of a helping hand in turn number 1 and 2, which unfortunately didn't end all that well for him in that 677 machine. 2 to go for Patrick Spangler, and would have to be one of the favourites going into next week's Mike Westbrook Memorial Knoxville Nationals and the 4th running of the event. White flag is out, 1 lap left to run for Patrick Spangler, looking to start outside the front row of your 30-lap main event, working the back straightaway for the final time. The Training Wheels Racing DSD car number 39 through 3 and 4. Checkered flag is out. Spangler gets the win in heat race number 2. Second will go to Joseph Mosso. Field Miller home in 3rd. 4th at the line is going to be Dean Reynolds. Brian Lawson comes home with a 5th place run. Andrew Smith and Bob DeGood will make up the drivers in heat race number 2. Heat race number 3, final heat race of the night, lines up like this. Marco Vecchio in the 007 from position number 1. Isaac Salas in the 5 from position number 2. From position number 3 with the 88 of Dan McLaren to his outside, the 11 of Kelly Wheeler from position number 4. Position number 5 with the 13 of Cullen Johnston. Position number 6, the 218 of Kurt Schatzer. And Jeffrey Barker in the 513. The Mega Plumbing Bilstein entry lines up out of position number 7. So, final heat race of the night. For the Big Block Modifieds. Don't forget NASCAR Next Gen Cup Series to come up after this one. We'll have Heat 3 We'll have a quick 2.5 minute warm-up break. Then we will have a 30-lap main event with the post-race coverage, and then roll right into a quick commercial break or a quick break before the NASCAR Next Gen Cup Series rolls off. Green flag is out. Well, did he jump the start just a little bit? We'll have to wait and see if any post-race penalties come out from that one. Meanwhile, Dan McLaren moved up to position number 2, moved Schatzer back to position number 3. Wheeler and Vecchio come together, and that's, ladies and gentlemen, is how you make a 358 modified. Salas leading down the back straightaway from McLaren. Schatzer, got to keep an eye on those drivers in 6th and 7th who were stuck together. Oh, look out, Jeffrey Barker around in turn number 3 and 4. Did he get into the back of Kurt Schatzer? Did Schatzer come down? Was it just a bit of a racing deal? Unfortunately, we'll never know now because we stay green. 3 down, 5 to go. You're watching the 88 of Dan McLaren leading from Isaac Salas. Sorry, leading is Isaac Salas from Dan McLaren, half a second. Vecchio in the 007 machine, looking to stay on the lead lap, but I got to say Dan McLaren looks a whole lot quicker. Whether there is a penalty on that 5 machine of Isaac Salas just doesn't look all that comfortable right now, but keeping the car nice and straight as he approaches the lap car, or soon to be lap car of the 007 of Michael Vecchio. McLaren once again closing in down to 3/10 of a second, just losing a 10th on the exit of turn number 4. Vecchio goes high, down to the low side stays Salas, and Vecchio just going to back out of the throttle, so let the 2 cars on the lead lap fighting it out for 1st and 2nd go on by. White flag is out, 1 lap left to go. He finished 3rd in the main event of the 358 modifieds. Will he get the job done in heat race number 3? It's more than likely into turn number 3 of turn number 4. Car nice and straight, nowhere near the inside wall. Isaac Salas across the start-finish line 1st. Dan McLaren home in 2nd. Kurt Schatzer 3rd. Cullen Johnson, there he is in 4th. Followed by Kelly Wheeler coming across the line in position number 5. Then you go back to Michael Vecchio, lap down in 6th. Jeffrey Barker home in position number 7. Heat number 3 results coming up on screen. There it is. McLaren, in fact, going to get the win. So Isaac Salas does cop a 10-second penalty. So he'll go down to position number 4. Schatzer home in 2nd. Johnston 3rd. Salas, Wheeler, Vecchio, and Barker. We'll take a quick commercial break here on Ultimate Dirt TV. Come back with your main event on the other side of this. Gambler Motorsports, Thursday Night Thunder, live on Ultimate Dirt TV and live on the Coast to Coast Racing Network.
How about the reverse for Lucy Olsen? She has her first point.
Yeah, Lucy Olsen, talented sophomore.
And we are back here on Ultimate Dirt TV and on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Gambler Motorsports Thursday Night Thunder. Main event time for the big block modifieds as they get ready to tackle 30 laps around the Weedsport Speedway Park in week number 7. Brandon Templeton and Patrick Spangler on row number 1. Row number 2 going to be Dan McLaren and Mark Gilbert. Row 3 will see Joseph Muscle alongside Kurt Schatzer. Row 4, Anthony Morano and Field Miller. Row 5, Cullen Johnston, Terry Landis. Row 6, Dean Reynolds and Isaac Salas. Row 7, Jeff Flower and Brian Lawson. Row 8, Kelly Wheeler and Jason Coffey. Row number 9, Andrew Smith and Michael Vecchio. Row 10, Jason Butterfield, Bob Good. And row 11 at the back in the 21st starter, it will be Jeffrey Barker. Main event time here, ladies and gentlemen, from the Weedsport Speedway. Live from the virtual New York racetrack. And a main time is upon us. Who will get the job done? We've seen in the 358 modifieds, it was Dean Reynolds to lead from the pole position to get the win. From a fast finishing, Brian Lawson and Isaac Salas, who tried everything in his power to go around the outside. Unfortunately, fell back to third after running second in the late stages of that main event. But those drivers come from 11th, 12th and 14th. So they're going to come from the 6th and 7th row. And that is a long way forward, deep in the middle of this field, if they want to get themselves a podium. But right now, race number 2 of 3, Gambler Motorsports, Thursday Night Thunder. Huge thanks to Top Notch Trucking, Catalytic Recovery, and Flatline Racing Bodies for their support. Live on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Ladies and gentlemen, big block modified main event. Let's get dirty for 30. Green flag is out. Templeton and Spangler, an even launch down the front straightaway, down through turn number 1 and 2. It's going to be Templeton. Spangler trying the outside. He's going to stay it up top hill. Going to keep the foot on the throttle and try and drive around the outside of Templeton down into turn number 1. Here comes McLaren in the 88 machine, working the low side through turn number 1 and 2. Moved in McLaren up to the runner-up position. But just like that, we are yellow. We are yellow here in a main time. So the first yellow of the main event comes just at the completion of lap number 1. I tell you what, Brandon Templeton, he knows he's going to have his hands full right now with Patrick Spangler and Dan McLaren. Both drivers are going to get the jump. Potentially move to the outside or inside of the racetrack. And who knows how this is all going to unfold. Well, I'll tell you right now, we're going to have 29 to go. 29 laps to sort this one out. Can Templeton, can he do what Dean Reynolds done in the 358 modifieds? Can he lead all 30 laps? There's only one way to find out, and that's to stick around live on Ultimate Dirt TV, live on the Coast to Coast Racing Network to find out. The lights will go out on the Steve King Foundation safety car. We're getting ready to go back racing here at the Weedsport. It is week number 7 of the summer season for Gambler Motorsports and Thursday Night Thunder. Don't forget, next week, 4 nights of racing, the 4th annual Mike Westbrook Memorial Knoxville Nationals 360 Wing Sprint Cars. Live from the virtual Knoxville Raceway, the sprint car capital of the world. Check out Coast to Coast, C2COL.com, excuse me, for more information. Back to green we go. And Spangler going to dive it down to the inside, down into turn number 1 and 2. Oh boy, the left front picked up big time there for Patrick Spangler. Maybe he caught the wall just a little bit. Templeton going to protect the inside line. Here he comes. Spangler all over the back of him down through turn number 1 and 2. Going back a little further, 4th, 5th, 6th. Now look at Salas as well. Remember, Salas got docked with a 10-second penalty in heat race number 3. Salas as well trying to make his way through the field with Brian Lawson in the 9 car. Just behind him and 2 cars back is Dean Reynolds. So your podium from the 358 modifieds. They are now running inside the top 10 in the first what is going to be 4 and 5 laps. 5 completed laps of this main event. So the big blocks, so we took, I think, what was 16 or 17 laps to get our first caution in the 358. We've had a couple of early cautions. Hopefully that is going to set us up for what should be a fantastic back end of this feature event for the big block modifieds. So again, the Mike Westbrook Memorial Knoxville Nationals next week, July 31st, all the way through to August the 3rd, all live on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. And you can bet your bottom dollar it is going to be one epic and entertaining week of racing. Lights to go out on the Steve King Foundation safety car. And well, speaking of the Steve King Foundation, all proceeds from the Mike Westbrook Memorial Knoxville Nationals will go to the Steve King Foundation. They do a hell of a lot for the racing community. In fact, after our post-race coverage, we'll play a quick commercial break on that one. And then we will, of course, switch it over to the NASCAR Next Gen Cup cars. So it'll be Travis or Marty with the call for that one as we get ready. Going back racing, big block modified main event. We go back green, 5 down, 25 to go. We're back live for 25. And Spangler going to try the outside down through turn number 1 and 2. He's going to drag race Brandon Templeton down the back straightaway. Gilbert Schatzer just to the right of your screen. They go wheel to wheel. Salas almost inside the top 5. He's up to position number 6 and Isaac Salas. Boy, he is really starting to motor along. And with those early couple of cautions, this is giving a whole lot of extra room and a whole lot of extra time right now for Isaac Salas in the 5 to make his way forward and really start to charge forward in this main event. So, lights are out. Next time by, the field doubles up behind the Steve King Foundation safety car. Weedsport Speedway playing host to week number 7. Don't forget next week, Mike Westbrook Memorial 4th annual running of the Knoxville Nationals. 360 wing sprint cars, open setups, and I'm going to say Patrick Spangler, the man on the outside of the front row, would have to be one of the hot favourites going into next week. So it will now be 7 down, 23 to go. Templeton gets back on the gas. We're back underway. Spangler got into the midway point of the front straightaway. Templeton catches the concrete wall on the inside. Side by side for the race lead as they work down the back straightaway. Spangler goes through the middle, right through the slick into the outside. He goes on Templeton. Who's going to have it at the line? Templeton just by a front bumper. Down into 1 and 2 we go. Templeton, Spangler making a bit of contact now. Dan McLaren to the inside. Meanwhile, keep an eye to the right of your screen. Have a look at the sneaky number 5 machine. The red, yellow, black and white. Venom Racing, Super Car Series. McLaren goes around. Dan McLaren around. Oh, Dan McLaren, who was running in a good spot, 3rd place, coming together with the 39 car Spangler. And there goes the 88 around, and he will go to the tail of the field. So going to go into the pit area. They'll get some running repairs done on the 88 machine. And thankfully, because the caution laps don't count, which means he is not going. So he's not going to be put any laps down whatsoever. So the lights should be off on the safety car, the Steve King Foundation safety car. Lights turn off, that they do, so we are 1 to green. And 1/3 of the race will be completed at the resumption. Look at Isaac Salas just get up behind the back of the 31 car, Brandon Templeton, just to say, hey, listen, I'm here. I may have started 12th, but I am here and I'm coming for that win. So he's passed 9 cars inside of what will now be 10 laps. Coming back to green, and there we go off turn 4. Keep an eye on Kurt Schatzer. Schatzer, who tried the intentions of the top being 1 and 2 in the 358 modified. Well, we have a lot more horsepower under that 218 machine. And well, back to yellow we go. Well, I'm sure this driver is getting a little frustrated at the moment, knowing that this has got the potential to be a very, very entertaining race, and we've seen it. We've seen it in the 358 modifiers. Like I said, we went over half race distance before the first yellow come out. Albeit, I think we had 3 or 4 cautions late in that one, but boy, it really set us up for what was a 6 or 7 lap sprint right to the very end. So Joseph Mosso out in 21st, Jason Coffey out in 20th, Terry Landers 2 laps down in 19th, Michael Vecchio in the pits in 18th, Patrick Spangler. Dan McLaren there at the back. Salas finished 3rd in the 358 modifieds. Earlier on, running in that same position right now. Dean Reynolds in 8th position. Brian Lawson in 13th. So don't forget, still plenty of racing to come here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. NASCAR Next Gen Cup Series. Week number 7 of the summer season here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. And a huge week next week. 4 nights of open-winged 360 sprint car action from the sprint car capital of the world, the Mark Westbrook Memorial Knoxville Nationals, the 4th running of the event. Back to green we go. 11 down, 19 to go. Schatzer, Salas, Jeff Flaro in the 200 machine. They all try to run down Brendan Templeton in car 31. Still Templeton leads. Salas is now going to move to the runner-up position. All over the back of Templeton down through 1 and 2. Now he's got a choice to make. Does he go upstairs or does he still try and make the bottom work and hope and pray that Brendan Templeton makes a mistake, but Templeton going to hug that inside wall. Salas is going to hug it as well through turn number 1 and 2. Flaro trying it upstairs. How about Jeffrey Barker in the 513? I'm pretty sure Barker started position number 21 from memory, and he's up to position number 4. Meanwhile, we go back up front, first and second spot as they again go nose to tail through the first and second turn. Templeton still leads. At the completion of this lap, it will be official. 15 down, 15 to go. We're officially halfway home. And I'd love to go back and look at the battle on for 5th and 6th position, but right now when you've got a battle up for the race lead, you do not want to miss this one because it can change in the blink of an eye. Templeton still leads from Salas, Schatzer in 3rd, Barker 4th, Miller 5th. Then you go back to Reynolds in 6th, followed by Flaro, Wheeler, Gilbert and Lawson, your top 10. Just as Salas went to the top in turn number 3 and 4, Yellow comes out. Yellow comes out with 13 or 14 to go. It'll tick over. It'll tick over to 13 laps left to run once we go back green. And this is about the stage where it started to unravel just in a couple of laps in the 358 modifieds. But the good thing was, inside, once we got to those single-digit laps remaining, it really started to pick up. So the field getting set already to go double file, although they are still 2 to green. Maybe a few mind games going on at the moment for Salas, trying to get into the mind of Brendan Templeton. Does he keep his composure? Well, there's only one way to find out what will happen in these final 13 laps of racing action. Lights are out on the Steve King Foundation safety car. We are getting ready to go back green. You see the Dirt Track Bank GY6RN car number 31 car of Brendan Templeton, the race leader. Look at that Super Dirt Car Series Venom Racing entry of Isaac Salas. Stalking and praying on the outside. Ready to go racing once again. 17 down, 13 to go. The back end picks up. We are back underway in the main event. Templeton going to slide it through the middle of the racetrack through turn number 1 and 2, but still keeping it locked down to the bottom down to turn number 3. Salas nearly a little bit of a bump, but no run. Salas gets hit from the 218 of Schatzer. And we're going to stay green, and poor old Isaac Salas is going to go from second back to position number 9. Now he's 3 wide on the bottom with Flaro and Gilbert. Have a look at Dean Reynolds up to position number 5 and a 1.2 second breather right now for Brendan Templeton over Schatzer, and Barker in 3rd, Wheeler 4th, Reynolds in 5th, Miller in 6th, and you go back to Gilbert. Salas back to position, or back up to what is 8th. Spangler up to position number 9 after being sent to the tail end of the field. What was about 10 laps ago after an incident on the front straightaway with Dan McLaren. Reynolds trying to come after Kelly Wheeler down the back straightaway. And that King Race Designs car number 79 machine of Dean Reynolds. Yellow is out. A 1.3 second gap right now for Brendan Templeton is no more. So single digit laps remaining right now. So it's just getting a little chilly. I'm going to turn the heater on. It's not a microwave. It's just my heater, folks. Don't be alarmed. So can we get this one into the books? Nine to go. Lights are out. Single file restart. Ready to go racing. One more time. Can Templeton do what Dean Reynolds done? And can he lead all 30 laps of the main event? Kurt Schatzer. Remember Templeton had a 1.3 second break from second just before that yellow come out. Now again, we come back to nose to tail restart. Who was going to make his way? Who was going to make their way forward in this one? Well, it looks like we might be going yellow very, very quickly just as we were getting ready to complete another lap. And of course, we'll go back to the last recorded lap with the way they were at the start-finish line. This means Dean Reynolds is going to get a little bit lucky here, because I'm pretty sure he lost about 2 or 3 spots there. So he'll in fact come up behind the 11 machine of Kelly Wheeler. So while they wait for the Steve King Foundation safety truck, don't forget, 4 days time. Monday, July 31st, qualifying of night number 1 of the Mike Westbrook Memorial Knoxville Nationals presented by the Steve King Foundation. Tuesday, August 1st, qualifying night number 2. Wednesday, August the 2nd, Veterans and Volunteers qualifiers, pole shuffle and hard knocks night. And then Thursday, August 3rd, it is last chance qualifiers and the final event. And the final to crown your 4th annual Mike Westbrook Memorial Knoxville Nationals champion presented by Steve King Foundation. Over $750 in prizes. So just to go through a couple of the sponsors, or a couple of the prizes up for grabs. Hard Charger, $50. Tough Luck Award, $50 to be voted on. Last qualifier in the last chance qualifiers will get $25. The highest finishing driver over 55 will get $25. The most positions gained with less than 6 incidents will get $25. $50 if they're inside the top 5. Qualifying night 1 and 2 winners will each grab $25. The Veterans and First Responder race winner will grab $25. And the Volunteers race winner will also get $25. If you want to join in on the action, for more details and registration, visit www.c2crl.com. Back to green flag action here at Weedsport. Back underway again, single file restart. Templeton from Schatzer and Barker. And again, like I said, I'm pretty sure Barker started in the 21st position. And well, back-to-back cautions. Well, Weedsport not enjoying the big blocks at the moment. Boy, they certainly enjoyed the 358 modifieds. I'm sure these drivers right now are just starting to get a little frustrated. Still plenty to offer here tonight from the Weedsport Speedway Park. Again, the only person that these cautions are helping is your race leader of Brandon Templeton. But we know Brandon's a racer. He's a gasser at heart as well. He would have loved to see this one go at least 25 green flag laps to determine who will get the win. But you know what? When you're out in front, unfortunately, some nights you've just got to take these ones. You take them when you can. You take them when you can, and, well, who knows how it will all unfold. And there's still an opportunity right now for maybe Kurt Schatzer or even Jeffrey Barker to get something done here late in this race. Still a lot on the line for these drivers. Coming back to green. We go back racing. Templeton protects that inside line once again. Barker trying to move there on Kurt Schatzer through 1 and 2. Couldn't quite complete the pass. Here comes Kelly Wheeler in the 11 machine. Meanwhile, the 358 modified feature winner of Dean Reynolds has found his way to position number 5. 5 laps left to run for the 31 of Brandon Templeton. Reynolds trying the inside on Wheeler. Off turn 2, couldn't complete the pass. Meanwhile, a little further back, Gilbert and Spangler, they will go door to door through turn number 3 and 4. Spangler after being sent to the rear of the field. Now having to drive his way inside the top 10 and almost going to challenge for a top 5 late in this one. Reynolds closing in on Kelly Wheeler. Meanwhile, Jeffrey Barker closing in on the runner-up place of Kurt Schatzer. 3 laps to go here at the Weedsport Speedway Park. The Big Block Modifieds for week number 7 of your Gambler Motorsports Thursday Night Thunder. And Brandon Templeton, well, he's now just 2 laps away from the main event victory. As soon as they get to the white flag, they will race it out to the start-finish line. And he's made his way into turns 3 off turn 4. White flag is flying right now for the 31 car Brandon Templeton. And the Dirt Track Bank Big C's GY6RN 31 into turns 3 off turn number 4. Checkered flag is out for the second time tonight. The pole sitter of the main event and heat number 1 winner will take out your A main event here at Weedsport. Brandon Templeton will get the win. Let's take a look at your official results as they get ready to park it up in the victory lane. You can see the fireworks in the background going off on the inside of the racetrack. Brandon Templeton, your winner, from Kurt Schatzer home in second. Jeffrey Barker in third. Kelly Wheeler fourth. Dean Reynolds going to come home in position number 5. 6 will be Patrick Spangler. Mark Gilbert home in 7th. Anthony Morano 8th. Bob DeGood 9th. And Phil Miller will round out your top 10. 11th through to 20th will go like this. Cullen Johnston in 11th. 12th, Isaac Salas. Brian Lawson 13th. Jason Butterfield. Jeff Flower in 14th. 15th. Dan McLaren 16th. Terry Landis in 17th. Andrew Smith. Michael Vecchio. Jason Coffey, your top 20. With Joseph Mosso in the 21st finishing position. And we are ready to go trackside, ladies and gentlemen, with your main event winner and your podium, but home in position. Let me just do one thing because I want to just check something just quickly. It was from 21st all the way to position number 3. He is not only tonight's hard charger, but he comes home with a 3rd place finish. It is the 5:13 of Jeffrey Barker. Jeff, congratulations. Boy, you made this one almost look too easy. You had to start dead last in the field from 21st all the way up to position number 3. How are you feeling after that one?
Tired. That was fun. It was a fun race. I wish we had a little less cautions. I was better on the longer runs. You know, I think I could have pushed it at least in the second if I had some time.
Remember, the cautions kept coming out, stop, start. It gave you an opportunity just to pass those cars in front of you, and then any cars that got caught up, just trying to avoid those ones. Track was very similar to what it looked like in the 358 modifieds. I mean, how did you see the racetrack?
It was good. It was much like real life. I've raced here out in the real world, and it's pretty slick, and I was liking it. I like it like that, so.
Well, 21st up to position number 3. Not only are you tonight's hard charger, but you also get the final spot on the podium. Jeff, congratulations on this 3rd place run. Before we let you go, sponsors, shout-outs, all that good stuff, buddy. Who makes this happen for you in the 513 car?
Oh, well, thanks to you, Brett, for putting this on, and Coast to Coast Racing League, and what do we got? Catalytic Recovery for help putting this on, and my sponsors, Malcolm Mills Millwrighting, and Coast to Coast Racing Team, or Can-Am Racing Team.
Jeff, congratulations on 3rd place. We'll see you back, next week is the 4th annual Mike Westbrook Moore. I'm sure we'll see you in that one.
Yes, sir. Thanks, Brett.
Jeff Barker home in position number 3. Home in second spot tonight, driving the 218 machine. It is Kurt Schatzer. And Kurt, congratulations on the runner-up finish. 1.2 second gap back to Brandon Templeton, the race winner. But hey, you know what? Second place, it's a good points night for the big block modifieds.
Yeah, I guess it was. I'm not really running for points here this season in the modifieds here, but thought I'd come out here and give it a run. The track was definitely slick. I hate these bottom tracks where it's kind of follow the leader, and towards the end there, I think I was just spinning the whole way. I didn't really have anything for Brandon. I got to give him a congratulations there for getting the win.
Mate, we've seen you try on the top side in the 358 modifieds. Didn't look like that it was going to be a similar sort of outcome here in the big blocks. Is that the way you've seen it as well?
Yeah, it was pretty much all night. As soon as you got off the bottom and you were kind of leaving yourself open for anybody to come in there and walk right on by you. There was nothing up top, I felt like.
Well, mate, congratulations on the second place finish. Of course, we take next week off with the modifieds as the 4th annual Mike Westbrook Memorial Knoxville Nationals in the 360 wing sprint cars at Knoxville take place next week. Are we going to see you in that event next week?
I don't believe so. I believe we're going to Myrtle Beach for a vacation, so I got to sit that one out.
Well, tell you what, mate, enjoy the vacation. We'll see you back in a couple of weeks. Kurt, before we let you go, of course, sponsors on this race car, people behind the scenes, an opportunity to thank everybody that helps you out in the 218 machine.
Yeah, I got to thank Jay with the Dirt Track Bank and everything they do to help racers all around the country in different racing series and our iRacing team. Got Your Six Racing Network with Joe Halter, and then Hammer Down Racing Team with Brandon Templeton and Brian Dickens and then Joe Halter there. Everybody watching at home, you doing the broadcast, and the wife and kids for allowing me to do this.
Kurt, congratulations on second. Enjoy the vacation. We'll see you back in a couple of weeks' time.
Thank you, sir.
There we go. Kurt Schatzer, ladies and gentlemen, home in second spot. Home in first place tonight and leading all 30 laps of tonight's main event. It is the 31 car of Brandon Templeton. Brandon, congratulations on the win here tonight. You've done exactly what Dean Reynolds done in the 358 modifieds. You lead from start to finish, but a couple of cautions in that one. I'm sure you would have liked to have a few more green flag laps in.
Yeah, we got a little bit of a run there, middle of the race, and it was kind of fun. But for the most part, it was just the challenge of the track, not so much racing the competitors, just trying to stay off each other's bumper and the challenge of the slick track. It was a little bit single file, but, it wasn't easy at all holding it down on the bottom. So it was kind of fun. So there was that.
Talk us through the challenges and the difficulties of trying to get through the turns here, because this is I'm going to say a unique racetrack. It's almost got like a Kokomo turn 1 entry on the top. It's got the Volusia D-shaped back straightaway. It's just a combination of a couple of different racetracks built into one, although it's its own different unique racetrack. What are the challenges of trying to get around here?
Well, entering like turns 1 and 3, both, you really have to get it slowed down a lot. You can't just blow it in there. You're going to slide clear up across the track to the wall. So you really got to get it slowed down, and you got to try to get it slowed down without kicking it sideways, too hard on the brakes. So you do that, you can keep it straight, get it wound down on the bottom, and you'll be able to hold it.
Well, Brandon, congratulations on the win here tonight. Before we let you go, before we actually get to your sponsors, the 4th annual Mike Westbrook Memorial Knoxville Nationals next week. Will you be in attendance at the Knoxville Raceway?
Absolutely. Looking forward to supporting it. It was a blast last year. I've got a 10-year-old girl here that's kind of been running a few laps. If I can get her to get 10 good, clean laps together, she might get into the kids' race and have some fun. So looking forward to it.
Well, Brandon, good luck next week. Hopefully I'll see you out there on the racetrack. But congratulations on the main event win here tonight in the Gamble Motorsports Thursday Night Thunder Big Block Modified Series. Before we let you go, of course, an opportunity to thank your sponsors, friends, family, watching, everybody at home that supports you in the 31 car.
I got to thank the Dirt Track Bank for supporting us, supporting Joe and Got Your Six Racing Network and what they're doing with Mission 22. It's all good stuff. Got Your Six Racing Network, Joe Halter. Looking forward here coming up this fall, starting back up Friday Night Lights. So that's a lot of fun. Hammer Down Racing Team, Joe, Kurt, and Brian. Kurt and I were able to race there a little bit. So that was kind of some fun. Extreme Images, Maley's Makery, Big C's Lawn Care. You guys, for putting on this stream, you for doing the broadcast, everyone working behind the scenes, Roger and everyone with the league, and everyone watching at home. Thank you.
All right, there we go, guys. Brandon Templeton, your winner from the Weedsport Speedway Park as we get ready to hand it over to Travis Piercefield for the NASCAR Next Gen Cup Series. Travis, welcome in, mate. Where are you off to tonight? You are not there. Your mic was lighting up. Stand by, folks. Just the usual technical issues. Negative. I can still see the light coming through, but don't forget.
Can you hear me, Brett?
Can hear you now, buddy.
Sorry, we're up in the booth here. We're at Richmond Raceway tonight for the We Let the Dogs Out for You Next Gen Series, and the summer season is heating up here. We'll have a little, one of the larger short tracks on the schedule, but it should be a lot of fun going around this 3/4 mile here in Richmond, Virginia tonight.
All right, well, again, don't forget, we'll take a quick little break here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. We're back in just a few short moments. Travis Piercefield has the Next Gen NASCAR Cup Series coming to you live in about 2 or 3 minutes' time. Stick around, but for myself and Ultimate Dirt TV, I'm Brett Wheeler signing off for now, saying good night. We'll see you back in a couple of weeks. But don't forget, next week as well, the 4th annual Mike Westbrook Memorial Knoxville Nationals presented by the Steve King Foundation 360 Wing Sprint Cars in the sprint car capital of the world. We'll see you back next week. I'll see you guys on track. For now, good night.
Knoxville Raceway, they're lean, they're mean, they're 700 horses of man and machine. They're 4 wide before they start to slip and slide. Here come the Cool Ray Coast to Coast Racing League Sprint Cars and the Mike Westbrook Memorial for the Knoxville Nationals. Where else would you rather be than right here, right now? Green, Spangler, green flag, showtime, Knoxville Nationals are green.
Join us for the 4th annual Mike Westbrook Memorial Knoxville Nationals for the Steve King Foundation, July 31st to August 3rd. 4 days of open 360 Knoxville action using the Knoxville Nationals scoring system. $200 in payouts as well as loads of door prizes. $10 early bird entry by midnight Sunday, July 17th, then $15 for Coast to Coast members and $20 for non-Coast to Coast members. Max I rating has to be 3,000. All entries open to the first 100 drivers. 100% of registration fees go directly to the Steve King Foundation. All races will be broadcast on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. For more info, go to c2crl.com. It's showtime.
These dollars had come together to support us, and we realized no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. I was in the hospital 8 months, and that got really, really expensive, so having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life, and it's the lives of racers everywhere is the reason we're able to do the work we do.